Hey, how's it going guys? Chris here, and in this Evolved Monster Guide, I'll be telling you all about the Behemoth monster, explaining his abilities, what he does, and I'll even give you some tips on how to use him effectively against the hunters. So the Behemoth is the big and slow but powerful and well armoured monster that you can use and evolve. He's the largest of all the monsters and has the most health and armour. You can get the Behemoth by buying him as DLC, or if you have the code from pre-order in the game. He's a huge rocky kind of monster with magma and elemental type powers. It takes up a big chunk of the bottom of the screen. He can't jump and he's pretty much bound to the floor, but instead he can form into a ball and roll around to quickly cover ground. When he's not rolling around though, the Behemoth is very slow, and because of his much larger size he can be a bit clumsy, knocking down trees and leaving a wake of destruction behind. He also seems to scare birds a bit easier too, alerting the hunters of your presence. The Behemoth might seem like a well-armoured powerhouse, but he does have a weak spot underneath his body, which often becomes exposed whilst he's using his attacks. So the Behemoth's abilities are a bit of a mixture of long and short range attacks that are pretty good at separating the hunters to deal high amounts of damage. These include the Lava Bomb, Tongue Grab, Fissure and Rock Wall. The Lava Bomb ability lets the Behemoth spit out a massive molten rock that explodes when it hits a surface, which then throws out 4 smaller rocks like a cluster bomb. Once the molten rocks have all landed, they leave small lava pools dealing damage to anyone who walks into them. The lava bomb can be aimed and then thrown through the air, and it takes a couple of seconds for the Behemoth to create the bomb, so you'll have to time the bomb right to hit your enemies. Though it does have a fairly large area of effect, especially when leveled up to the max. The lava bomb can also be used as a good area denial tool. Because it leaves damage in lava fields, you can use the bomb not only to deal damage, but to prevent the hunters from going somewhere. Maybe if they're running away, you could throw a bomb in front of them onto their path, or even use it on a downed hunter to prevent the others from going in for the revive. If you use a lava bomb on a hunter that needs reviving, the other hunters will take damage if they decide to help, making them easier to finish off. The Tongue Grab lets the Behemoth launch his tongue, as the name implies, at a target from a distance, latch onto them and then catapult whatever you're aiming at back towards you. Similar to the Wraith's Abduction ability. It can be used to separate hunters, bringing them close to you. It's a good ability to use to finish off hunters as well if they're trying to escape. Because the Behemoth is so slow, it's a good way to get the hunters to come to you if they're far away. One of the best uses for the Tongue Grab ability though is for hunting. Being able to grab and kill wildlife and bring them to you from long ranges makes hunting a lot easier, especially as the Behemoth takes a while to chase its victims. You can also grab onto dead animals too, so it's a good ability for the earlier stages of your evolution. The Fissure ability is where the Behemoth smashes the ground, creating a wave-like earthquake that deals damage to anything caught in the wave. The Fissure travels in a straight line from where the Behemoth is facing, and there's a tiny delay between the ability triggering from when you activate it, so it's also one way you'll need to time it correctly. Fissure's pretty good at hitting targets that are a bit at a distance and at close range, though it's easily avoidable if the hunters are far away. It's also a good ability to use against hunters that are on higher and lower levels of ground, as the Fissure actually travels through objects and over different heights of terrain. So if someone's hiding behind a rock and you can't catch them, then the Fissure could travel over the rock to deal the damage. And the last skill that the Behemoth has is the Rock Wall ability. This is where he creates an enormous wall made from rocks that lasts a few seconds. It can be used for a number of different reasons. As an offensive attack, the Rock Wall can be used to split up hunters and trap them in enclosed spaces, making them easy for you to deal damage to them with your melee attacks. If the wall hits anyone while it shoots up from the ground, it'll also injure and even kill hunters that are low on health. As a defensive strategy, the rock wall can be deployed whilst you're escaping the hunters to cut off routes, slowing them down. If you get caught in a portable arena early on, the rock wall could be used to separate yourself from the hunters for a few seconds, shielding you from damage and biding you some extra time for the arena to deactivate. It takes a whole tank of jetpack fuel for a hunter to get over it, but you can actually climb over it fairly easy if you need to. So because the Behemoth is a large rock essentially, it can withstand huge amounts of damage. Its armour and health are higher than all the other monsters, but it also has its disadvantages. He's a big slow moving target that's really easy to hit, even for less experienced FPS players. And because he's a bit of a bullet sponge, soaking up tons of damage, he can be quite easy to kill if you don't know how to use his abilities properly. When the Behemoth turns into a ball to roll around, he actually creates a trail of fire that can be seen really easily. You become much more manoeuvrable, but the fire trail is really obvious, and it makes you especially easy to track. So even though it does make you a lot quicker, try not to rely on it all the time. Most of his attacks have a bit of a wind-up period in which you have to wait a second or so before they activate. So keep this in mind and use your abilities with some thought, and predict where the hunters are likely to be once the attack happens. You also become slightly more vulnerable whenever your underside becomes exposed, so be more wary about which abilities you use and when. So that's my guide to using the Behemoth monster successfully in Evolve. Make sure you check out my other Evolve guides and everything on my channel. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe to stay updated with all my other videos. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.